Maria. This is Sam. But we are just ignore him as best you can today. He's just trying to get some shots as we input this. So just so you guys know, so we have 3 groups here today. You all represent very different parts, just so everybody knows. So this is the Bestseller Foundation from a variety of places, but mostly Denmark and Rwanda. Bestseller recently invested in Sanergy's Series C. They are focused on circular economy solutions, and we're really delighted to have them join us on that. And then we have Ryan and Maria here, are from Flory Ventures, and they've just joined us on investing on our carbon entity specifically. So they're visiting from the US and Barcelona, and we're so thrilled to have you guys today. Sorry, a 4th group. Cyprian is new. This is his first week at Sanergy, so he's joining the tour.
Hey guys.
He's on our expansion team, and so he gets to see Michael's magic tour, which he's heard a lot about. And then we have a group from BCG and Strathmore University. So they're part of this program called GBA, which is Green Ventures Africa, and so working on how to improve value chains.
We like starting here because if you miss this part, then all of that will not make sense here. So we need you guys to contact the notes as much as possible when you're in there, so that you can follow what it is that we do. Yeah. So how many of you remember elementary biology, the life cycle of the fly? Sure, let me see. Cyprian, what is it?
Egg, larva, pupa, adult.
Exactly. So egg, larva, pupa, adult. Yeah. So what we've just essentially done here is we've just built a business off that. Yeah? And we've also added the circular economy piece, which is feeding the flies using waste and then converting that into useful end products. Yeah? So if you guys are to move closer, and the powder hatches into small larvae, we call them neonates. Yeah. So what you guys are seeing here is neonates, so very, very tiny larvae, already feeding on chicken feed. Yeah. So in their early life, between day 0 and day 4, we feed them on chicken feed to ensure we are controlling infant mortality as much as possible. Yeah. Just like you guys, I'm sure when you're growing up, you're eating pasta. You're not eating pasta, sorry. You're drinking milk and not eating pasta or garlic for the Kenyans in the room. Yeah. So it's important when they're very young for us to give them food that is easily digestible and food that enables them to grow as quickly as possible. Yeah. So we transport the neonates in this form. So we have a van that moves from Kilifi to here every day. So we have about 300 of this coming across to this site. Yeah. So when they get here, we put them into the nursery. So the nursery is what moves them from this size to this size. Yeah. So after 4 days, that's how they look like. So that's 4 day old. Yeah. So in 4 days, these things have grown 139 times in terms of size. Yeah. Which is quite significant. Yeah. So at that stage, at day 4, they are then ready to feed on waste. Yeah. So as Dave said, we process all forms of urban waste streams. So we have R&D teams that have developed proprietary recipes that basically optimize the diet for the fly. Yeah. So right now we are using waste streams from markets, so that's urban markets. So we're working with counties to collect waste from them. We're collecting waste from industrial producers, so guys doing avocado processing, guys doing pineapple processing and like, as well as fruit and veg. We're also working with abattoirs, so whatever waste that comes from there, we uptake. We're also working with a sister company called Fresh Life, so they have container-based sanitation models where they contain fecal waste. We also use some of those waste streams with us. And of course, so all other forms of urban organic waste streams that we think of. So right now we are doing about 200 tons per day. So 72,000 tons per year, which makes up the largest recycling facility in East and Central Africa in terms of handling of organic waste. Yeah. So all those recipes go into this stage, so between here and here. Yeah. So we feed the larvae, the young larvae, for 8 days. And in 8 days' time, they are that size. Yeah. So at this size, they are about 3 milligrams. Here we're looking at around about 100 to 120 milligrams. Yeah, within 8 days. Yeah. So these things are very efficient bioconverters. Yeah. So in terms of from a waste management perspective, they have already reduced the mass of that waste by 70%. Yeah. So what do I mean? So after they have fed, the frass that remains is basically 30% of the input. Yeah. So they're very, very efficient from a waste conversion perspective. Cool. I'll pause there and ask if there's any questions.
So 200 tons a month?
A day. Every day. Yeah. Cool. Any other questions? Any questions? Good. So we harvest the larvae. We then wash, dry, and pasteurize, and then package into this. This is, we call it KuzaPro, which is our insect-based protein product. So this is very good for fish, pigs, and chicken. Yeah. So to just give you guys context right now, for us to feed our animals in Kenya right now, what we do is, if they need animal protein, we go fishing into the lake, yeah, to harvest sardines, to fish sardines out. Yeah, they're called omena in the local language. Yeah. And that's what feed millers are using as the protein component of their feed. Yeah. So it means we're depleting our lakes to feed our animals, and at the same time, in a food insecure country, we're introducing competition for fish food between animals and humans. Yeah. So what you're saying is, by us introducing this, we're introducing a more ecologically friendly source of animal protein. Yeah. Now, the other alternative is soya, but soya is imported mostly into this country. And as well as on top of that, soya doesn't have the complete amino acid profile that leads to the healthiest animals you can find. Yeah. So we're not only solving an environmental and ecological problem, we're also solving an animal nutrition problem. So this becomes a very nutritious product that feed millers are using to as a protein additive into their feed to feed chickens, pigs, and fish.
What's the protein content?
So it's about 40% protein
40%.
and it also has about 40% fat as well. So high in energy and then high in protein. Yeah. So very, very nutritious, and feed millers are really taking on to this.
How is the uptake by feed millers?
Uptake, yeah. Very, very good. Like we sell all you can produce right now. Yeah. So the demand is through the roof. Yeah. So even if you were to build 10 of this, literally we could sell everything that you produce from a feed, from insect-based protein perspective. Cool. So going back to the life cycle of the fly, the egg larva pupa. What we do is we retain 5% of the colony in Kilifi for it to propagate, yeah, and generate more eggs for production. So in Kilifi, once you guys are there, like around the coast, when you get there, just give us a call. We'll let you into the factory. What you'll see is 5% of all of this going through the full life cycle and then turning back into the fly. Yeah. So when you leave this to grow for 10 days longer, they become pupae. Yeah. And then the pupae basically stiffens and then hatches back into the fly. So we have 5% of the colony down there at the coast doing that. Yeah. 95% going into production.
But you extract it at the larvae, but you kill it and extract it at the larvae stage.
Exactly. Here we basically kill it. Here. Yeah. But then in Kilifi we let it go around.
But you don't leave some that you can't make a product from the pupae or from the. There's not another.
Yeah.
This is optimum products.
For here, yes. For purposes of animal feed, yes.
Yeah.
But we're also doing some research with this. So it's high in chitin. The shells for the people. It's very high in chitin, and we're doing some research in terms of whether we can use it as a soil amendment. Yeah. So that's something that we are working on.
And how much do you get out? How much dried product do you get out every month? And what's the...
In terms of today. So yeah. So today we're at about between 20 and 30 tons per day. Sorry, per month of dried product. But this facility has a capacity to do north of 100. And of course, we're still taking the dials from a biology perspective, but let's get it to 200 tons per month produced office. Yeah. Good. So, I mentioned the frass, which is what is left after these things are fed. Yeah? So what we do is we take the frass and then we do what you call co-composting. So we get other agricultural wastes, specifically wastes that are high in carbon. So right now what we use is sugarcane bagasse. Yeah? So but sugarcane bagasse is what you get after you crush sugarcane. Yeah? So whatever is left after you've removed all the sugarcane is bagasse. All the sugar is bagasse, all the sucrose. Yeah? So we get that, we add it to the frass. We mix, we turn. So we have a machine that basically turns the pile of waste to give it oxygen. Because remember, composting is a biological process, yeah? Where the microbes are working on the organic matter. So we turn the piles, and then we also make sure that we maintain the amount of moisture in the piles by watering. Now what happens is the piles heat up to a process we call thermophilic composting. So in the first 1 month, it heats up to 65 degrees centigrade. You keep it there for about 2 weeks, and then you cure it. Yeah. So the whole process takes about 6 months, and in 6 months we have our organic fertilizer product called Evergrow Organic Fertilizer. Yeah. So Evergrow is currently distributed across 40 of all the arable land in Kenya. Upwards close to 10,000 farmers are already using it, Evergrow Organic Fertilizer. And just to give you guys context, in this part of the world, the organic matter in the soil is very low because unlike Europe, we don't have a winter. Yeah. So the soils don't get time to rest. Yeah. So it's all year round tilling. Now, what you found is that when you add the organic fertilizer treatment to your soils, it significantly improves its organic matter and its health. Yeah. So it right away improves the efficacy of any other mineral fertilizer treatment that you do on the soil. Yeah. So people who are combining this product with mineral fertilizer are seeing upwards of 30% increase in yield. Yeah. So
What's the NPK analysis of this one?
yeah, so the N is about 3%.
3%.
Yeah, and very good question. So remember and that's why I'm going into that. So for you to get a healthy plant, you need healthy soils and you need a healthy diet to get a healthy plant. Yeah. So we speak about this as food for the soil to give us healthy soils with the right microclimate within the soils that improves the efficacy of fertility treatment. Yeah? Mm-hmm. But now, what chemical fertilizers give you is that boost of nutrients, of macronutrients.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you get healthy soils and then you give them the right nutrients, you then end up with a very healthy plant. And that is the mechanism by which we increase yields for farmers. Yeah. So we don't sell it as a replacement for chemical fertilizers. We sell it as a complement for mineral fertilizers.
Okay. And
however,
so I just wanted to know whether the farmers are aware of that combination and they are happy.
Yes. So we have teams out there. We are very big in marketing and education. So we do a lot of extension services to teach farmers on regenerative agriculture. Yeah? Because farmers who now understand that are the ones who really are taking on to yeah. So that's the first segment of farmers. So those are farmers who are doing commercial farming, who are looking to maximize their yields. Yeah. We have a second group who are looking to basically reduce the amount of chemical or mineral fertilizers that they use. And for those ones, we usually recommend that you half how much mineral fertilizers you're applying, and then add a product on top of it to maintain your current yield.
Okay, that can even out.
Exactly, yeah. So it evens out. Yeah, so that's the recommendation to do. Yeah. Then you have the last group who are doing certified organic farming. Now for those ones who are not selling into certified organic markets, they can use this alone as their input product. Yeah. And that is fine because that's the only thing that they can use, which is organic fertilizer. However, we have another group who are doing certified organic production for selling to certified organic markets in the EU, UK, US and Japan. Yeah? Now for those guys, we have a different product called Evergrow Gold that is certified by EcoCert. So EcoCert is the certifying body for organic products. Yeah? So the only difference between Evergrow and Evergrow Gold is EcoCert has placed some limits on which feedstocks or inputs you can put into your fertilizer. So quite bluntly, Evergrow Gold does not have any human waste in it, yeah? but Evergrow has it. But in terms of performance, they're roughly the same.